Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MetrObelisk Radio's Firefly Retrospective series. Today we are looking at the episode War Stories. Now this episode was written by Cheryl Kane, and this will be the only episode that she wrote for Firefly. She only has 3 writing credits to her name. This episode of Firefly, an episode of Roswell, and Threat Matrix, a show that came out in 2003 that only lasted 1 season. And this episode was directed by James A. Contner, and this would be the only episode of Firefly that he would direct as well. Now, his other directing credits include shows like The X-Files, Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Dollhouse, and Star Trek Enterprise. And this was the 9th episode to air on the Fox network during the show's initial release. Now, remember in the second episode of this retrospective series when I told you to remember Adelaide Niska? This is the episode where he returns. He wants to capture Malcolm Reynolds for double-crossing him during the train job. Surprise, surprise there. Now, Wash gets tired of hearing about Malcolm and Zoe's war stories, so he goes along with Malcolm to deliver the medicine taken from the prior episode to some middlemen, and then Malcolm and Wash get taken by Niska's men. Niska tortures them, and then Zoe realizes who took them, so she gets the money to buy them back. Niska said she can only buy one of them back and chooses Wash over Malcolm, probably because she knows that Malcolm can take more torture than Wash ever can. Then a full-on assault on Niska's space station is planned to take back Malcolm. Now during this, we finally get to see Shepard shoot a gun. Again, playing to the prior comments of how can a preacher know so much about crime. I believe that had the series gone on for longer than 14 episodes, we would have gotten a deeper backstory into Shepard and basically what his past really entailed. Now, the main part that infuriates me during this battle is Kaylee becomes afraid to shoot a gun. Surprise, surprise. But that's not the issue. It's the fact that River is now a sharpshooter with, wait for it, with her fucking eyes closed. Please explain the logic how she was able to fire off 3 rounds and hit all 3 gangsters perfectly to kill them with her eyes closed. That can't be explained with logic. And this is something that you don't do as a writer. You can't write in an act of God moment because even in science fiction, it still needs to be believable to a degree. Being a sharpshooter with your eyes closed ain't exactly realistic. And if you want a good example, go watch the movie I, Robot when Bridget Monahan basically fires at the robot with her eyes closed. Yeah, she's still at the robot, but, you know, it was a bunch of bullet spray. And she got fucking screamed at for, shooting with her eyes closed. Now, this episode actually makes the train job a better episode. This is the episode to show the consequences of Malcolm and Zoe's actions by not completing the job for Niska by delivering the medicine in the first place. Those two put the entire crew at risk really for no reason other than to have an action-packed episode later on. Why would the captain knowingly make a decision to harm his crew and his first-in-command just willingly go along with it? Now, Niska doesn't die by Malcolm's own words, so he may have remained an adversary for the series had it continued. Now, this is something that we will unfortunately never get to see because of the show's premature cancellation. So, with all that said, that's going to do it for this episode of our Firefly Retrospective. Come back next time when we cover the next episode, Trash.